hello, and hello again. Welcome to Healing 101. Guys, we have been on a wonderful series called Mentally Strong. What are the things that mentally strong people just don't do? And the topic we are talking about today is that mentally strong people embrace change. Mentally strong people do not shy away from change. So y'all better get excited about that. For those of you all who don't know me, my name is DrMonifa Jones. I'm a life coach. I am available for one-on-one services. I am also an entrepreneur, a business owner. I have a health and wellness line. In addition to that, I was a previous college professor, but most importantly, I'm a wife, a daughter, a sister, a mother, and effective today, I am your friend. Welcome to the Love Tribe. Here at Healing 101, we learn to live our best life. Here at Healing 101, we're trying to figure out this journey on how we can be happy every single day. Truly happy, understanding that we were not born to suffer. So I hope you're super excited to hang out with me today as we talk about mentally strong people and how they embrace change, right? So with that being said, guys, we are on a whole series. You can get this book called 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do by Amy Morin, Morin. I highly recommend the book. I absolutely love it. I've read it several times. So amazing. So with that being said, we always talk about the topic to change or not to change. So I'm going to give you some things to kind of consider on this journey. Because if you know, like me, I have basically lived my life in a way that I was trying to please people, get people to approve of me and validate me. And so almost everything that I did was out of an alternative, motive to make sure that I had friends and loved ones surrounding me, supporting me, loving me, without understanding that I first had to love myself. I first had to respect myself. I first had to have value for myself. It took me a long time to figure it out. But once I did, it was so liberating, right? And so that's why I'm here today. I am here on this healing journey, just sharing it with you live, hoping that you go along with me, right? I'm hoping that you'll be a part of this process to understand that life is magical. That life is fun, that life is joyous and happy. And when I tell people that your life can be full of bliss, for whatever reason, they just don't believe it. They're so used to misery. They're so used to pain. They're so used to suffering, and they just don't believe it, right? So we're going to talk about change right now. Most people tend to justify bad habits by convincing themselves that, it's just not that bad. I can't tell you how many times I talk myself out of a diet, out of a workout regimen, because you're like, I'm okay. And can I tell you how many people I've heard say, well, my grandmother died at 98 and she smoked and drank all her life. Yeah, but grandma had fresh fruits. She didn't live off of processed foods like you did. So you can't compare apples to oranges. So a lot of times when we are resistant to change, we try to find some, little examples in the environment that we can relate ourselves to, that we can compare ourselves to absolutely tell ourselves that it's okay not to change. But I tell you every day, I am a voice, you are the voice. You know what you need to do for yourself. Mentally strong people embrace change, period. Because one thing we understand, if we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to keep getting what we're getting. And if you're like me, you don't like what you're getting, so you want to do something different so you can get something different. The definition of insanity is doing the same things but expecting different results. And we already said in 2022, we're not doing that no more. We're just not, right? So we're super excited at this present time to embrace change. Because for things to get better, we must get better. And for things to change, we must change. So we're not going to take our behaviors as we journal. We realize who we are. We tap into the power within. And we're just journaling and we're figuring this system out, right? We're not going to excuse ourselves. This is not the time for that. This is not the time to let yourself off the hook, to slip back into poor habits, to continue to do the same old things, knowing that, let me tell you, if you keep doing what you're doing today, I can predict exactly where you will be in 5 years. Same body, same mindset, same zip code, same house, same car, same relationships. If you love everything around you, I'm going to say, sis, more power to you. Keep doing what you're doing. But if you like me and you're ready to elevate, you're ready to be empowered, you're ready to go to the next level, then we got to do some things differently. And see, mentally strong people, we don't shy away from change. We understand that we will have to adjust. We understand that we will have to be flexible. We do understand that there are some things that we have learned in our environment growing up that doesn't really serve us that well. And we already said in a previous talk that we are no longer going to do the things that no longer serve us. Those thoughts, those behaviors, those actions, those emotions that no longer serve us, we are no longer going to participate in. Just because we grew up in a family that didn't have a lot of money, that was had a poverty mindset, that doesn't mean that we need to adopt a poverty mindset. I've told you before, go on a dream date. Go through some $1 million homes. Go look at some 6-figure cars. Why? To get a point of reference. Why do we believe some steel and some tires and some brick and some concrete is too good for us and it's too much for us? But because we've never had a point of reference, because we never touched it with our own hands, because we've never walked in it with our own feet, we've never seen anybody remotely close to us obtain those things, we just believe that we are doomed for not having the best, but that is a label that you put on it yourself. So if that's you, I want you to definitely encourage yourself. I highly recommend that you have a desire to be flexible and to change. Because if you don't have a point of reference for something, it's going to be difficult for you to identify with it. And so many of us have a point of reference for poverty. We have a point of reference for sickness, illness, and disease. We have a point of reference for toxic, non-healthy relationships. So because that's what we're used to, and because that's what we knew, and we grew up around addictions, and we grew up around dysfunctional relationships, doesn't mean we have to adopt that for the rest of our lives. I want you to know it's going to be different on the other side, and you better get excited about that. When you get to the crossroads of life and you decide that enough is enough, I'm talking about in every single area of your life. Spiritually, enough is enough. It's time for us to educate ourselves. I don't subscribe to any specific spiritual guru that guides and leads my life. I am connected to God. I trust that connection. Right? I'm super excited about that. And see, this is the thing. We put so much hope, faith in others, not understanding they're humans just like us. Why don't we just trust ourselves? So, spiritually, we're going to have to decide to go to the next level and to change. What do you need to do? You need to educate yourself. You need to have a spiritual practice. If you don't, that's up to you. Just my recommendation, even if we just took 5 minutes away to reconnect with nature, to reconnect with God, to reconnect with ourselves, with our true inner power, we will find out how amazing we really could be. And then we definitely have to change physically. I don't know one person on this planet that doesn't know something on their physical body that they know that they can enhance, if not just their energy levels. Everybody who's smaller is not healthy. Everybody who's bigger is not on the way to death. But we understand that each and every one of us have a responsibility for this physical body that we are inside. And so we have to decide, what do I need to change? And we need to focus on that. Same thing physically with our eating habits. Same thing physically with our exercise regimen. And then when we get to personal development, our mental development, our mentality, our emotional development, man, that affects the rest of your life. That affects your spirituality, that affects your relationships, that affects your finances, that affects your physical body. I would venture to say, and because you're on Healing 101, pat yourself on the back and get excited, you're on your way. But I would venture to say that our mental development is the driving force of our life. Because if we are strong emotionally, and we're proactive like we talked about yesterday. We have healthy boundaries. We don't allow people to make us mad and knock us off of our throne. We stay at our place, our high level of frequency. I told you the highest level is love and the lowest is fear. So whenever we find ourselves going towards fear and guilt and shame and doubt, guess what? We know we're going in the wrong direction, and so we course correct. And so when we are mentally strong and we embrace change, that means that if any area of my life, financially, my relationships, any area of my life, my professional development, my business, my employment, my relationships, my money, my spirituality, my personal development, there is no area of my life that is off limits when it comes to me. Because I decided that I am a priority for the first time in my life. I decided that I must have a self-care, self-love, self-healing ritual. I must. There's no other way. There is no other way, right? So I want you guys to understand very, very clearly that we must change. Now, our experiences can bring us a lot of anxiety about change because of our routine. I don't know about you, but there are many, 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 many of us who have certain routines and we don't like it to be disrupted. We feel like we're knocked off, right? So it's really, really important that we stay in our routine, right? Wrong. Your routine got you to where you are today. If you don't understand time management, if you don't understand prioritizing yourself, if you don't understand stealing away for 5 minutes so your other 23 hours and 55 minutes can be on point, then your routine is off. I tell anybody, show me your routine and I'll show you your life. If you want your life to be better, let's look at the routine. What do we need to tweak? What do we need to change? What do we need to enhance? What do we need to improve? And what do we need to totally eliminate? If you ever just took a moment to look at your routine, we're like, wow, if I eat 100 donuts a year and don't exercise, what is the outcome? If I eat 100 apples a year and exercise, what is the outcome? We try to make life such a mystery for whatever reason. We try to act like our life is a secret for whatever reason. But if you look at your routine, therein lies the secret to the mysteries of your life unfolding right before your very eyes. If you hang around a person that is very condescending, if you hang around a person that is very negative, if you make a decision within yourself that it's important to share yourself with everyone and to not have a moment for yourself, you will find yourself drained. And it's important that you learn to put yourself first, which is why you need to journal. Because your first change you need to do is you need to journal. You need to steal away. You need to get to know yourself. You need to write. You need to figure this thing out. That's the first thing you need to do, right? And once you do that, we're well on our way for everything else. So mentally strong people embrace change. Look, okay, I need to start exercising. I'm not going to go crazy. There's this wonderful book called Atomic Habits that says, baby steps, start slow. So you're not intrusive to your brain and your whole brain shuts you down, right? But you start slow because you are intentional about making sure that goal comes to pass. But you do understand that you must change. You must, maybe one week you have to go get some workout clothes because you can't fit the other ones or you don't have any more because you haven't exercised in years. And then the next week you got to get tennis shoes, and then the next week maybe you'll set your clothes out, and then the following week maybe you'll put your clothes on, and then the following week maybe you'll do 5 minutes. Well, Dr. J, that sounds like a whole month. That's a long time to change. So I would say to you, you think 4 weeks is a long time. You've been needing to change for 40 years. You think you got 4 weeks? I think you have 4 weeks. Get excited. Be gentle with yourself. Stop participating in self-sabotaging behaviors that set yourself up for failure. Mentally strong people embrace change. Change is scary. Change makes us walk into the unknown. We always like to be in control. Change means something is different. My body's going to be different. My mindset is going to be different. Even my pockets are going to be different. My schedule is going to be different. My routine is going to be different. My self-care rituals is going to be different because they are non-existent at this point. I have to even implement some. So here in the Love Tribe and Healing 101, we embrace change. We love it. We honor it. And we just go in blindly saying, oh, well, what I'm doing now is not working. I absolutely need to do something else. Even when you're in a bad situation, you worry that making a change might make things worse. And whenever you attempt to make a change, you struggle to stick with it. Most people say, look, ain't no point in me trying. I've tried before. I didn't look, stop judging yourself. Stop getting behind before you get ahead. That's why you need to journal and steal away, because when you tap into the power within, you'll see how phenomenal you are. The reason why we don't trust ourselves is because we don't spend time with ourselves. We don't honor ourselves, respect, love ourselves. We have no self-care rituals. Once you start to journal, let me tell you what happened to me. I was actually sitting, getting that infusion, iron infusion. Thank God I don't need them anymore. I was actually sitting in the hospital getting an iron infusion, and I was journaling. And I cried like a baby. As I was writing to the little girl inside of me, trying to figure out, I had to ask myself the hard questions. What's eating you? Because I was an overeater. I had a food addiction. What's eating you? What's eating at you? And when I started writing, I realized some things that happened to me that when I was young, that was still an issue. I was a grown woman, but I was still dealing with it. I had just suppressed it. And when I started writing, I realized that, I needed to apologize to the little girl inside of me. Because I used to talk to her like a woman that I hated. And then I learned to talk to her like a girl that I loved. And I had to apologize. See, when I spent my time working on me, I realized that the reason why my little girl wouldn't be confident, why she wouldn't stand up for herself, why she wouldn't tap into her true inner voice, I never trusted her. I never pushed her out there. I always thought less of myself. I always lacked confidence. I always thought everyone was not thinking highly of me. I always thought everyone was not elevating me, until I realized that why would I expect someone to care for me when I didn't even care for myself? It took me years to figure that out. My husband used to talk about, you need to love yourself, and it didn't make any sense to me. I saw a million things online. This is from a person that operates in outpatient mental health. I saw a million things online. It still did not occur to me at all. And so now that it has, I'm diligent. Now that it has, it's a priority. Now that it has, nothing else is more important than tapping into the power within. And now that I know, I'm so excited to be a servant to share it with everyone else. Because when I tell you I woke up every day miserable, that was a fact. When I tell you I felt like I was born to suffer, and I literally went from problem to problem, struggle to struggle, challenge to challenge, obstacle to obstacle, drama to drama. I was just like, whoa, when am I ever going to see the light of day? And then I realized I had the power to open the windows myself. I realized I had the power to pull up the shades myself. I didn't have to stay in the dark unless I decided to. So guys, to change or not to change, that is the question. So I say to you, if you love your situation, stay right there. If you want something different, you're going to have to do something different. People always feel like when they start to make a change that they struggle. They feel like they're not going to be able to stick to it. But just trust yourself this time and just take it one day at a time. When you focus on the past and all of your failures, you call it. I call failures just feedback on how not to do it. And when you focus on the future, the anxiety of whether you'll be able to stick to it or not, most of the times we'll always be in depression or we'll be with anxiety. Because depression is worry over the future. So we're not going to do either one of those. We're just going to come right now to the present. That's why they call it a present, because it's a gift. Get excited. And we're going to stay in the now. And we're going to see how we can change today. If my attitude confirms my altitude, where's my attitude? How do I deal with others? How do I serve others? Did I do my day or did my day do me? In all levels of my life, your formula, YOUR, yielding outstanding, undeniable results. Do you have undeniable, outstanding results in your spirituality, in your physical development, in your financial development, in your relationships? If you check your emotional health, if you check your physical health, is it where you want it to be? If not, wouldn't you think it would be very, very important that we spent the majority of our time doing just that? Absolutely. So guys, Love Tribe, I love each and every one of you. I want you guys to know that if you don't have 5 minutes, you absolutely do not have a life. So what I would like to say to you is that steal away. When I tell you, I talked to so many that said, Dr. J, I took your advice and life is not the same now. Because I steal away for 5 minutes, my other 23 hours are very fulfilling. I'm not running away from the children. I'm not hating on my husband. I'm not despising my relatives. I used to go to work just hating it. Now, I'm thankful for my employment that helps me to pay my bills. And now I'm seeking from Spirit ideas on what I can do to create wealth for my family while I'm here. I'm thankful. Before, I used to despise my coworkers, my boss, the job, the building, everything about it. My taxes being taken out, everything I despise. Now I give joy for it. I'm thankful, appreciative, and grateful. Because if I do have taxes coming out, it's coming out of something. There are some people who have nothing. We have to learn to value, appreciate, and have gratitude for where we are. Because when we love everything we have everything we need. We need to understand that love never fails. I always say, if you would like to put your hand over your heart, some people have never felt their own heartbeat. They don't even realize our organs are miracles, all coinciding together with their own consciousness. And we fight against each other, but our organs, they have enough sense not to fight against one another. They have enough sense to work together. That heartbeat is moving that blood, right? And that blood is going through our liver, our colon, and making everything work together. And this skin, this biggest organ of our body called the skin, is protecting it all. It's not fighting amongst one another. We can learn a lesson from the miracle of the anatomy of the body. But when you put your hand over your heart, it kind of centers you into your own body. Most of us have been living our whole lives outside of our body. We don't feel it. We've been hurt, we've been rejected, we've been abandoned, and we just don't identify with our body. But you need to massage yourself every day. But if you don't do that at least once a day, put your hand over your heart. Even close your eyes so you can go within. You will feel your heartbeat. You will feel the energy around you. and you will actually feel love. May God continue to shine his face upon you. May God be gracious to you and grant you peace. I always say the affirmations in the first person, but I invite you to say them with me and to say them for yourself. I forgive myself for believing that I should have done better when I didn't know how. And I also forgive others for the same. I am open and ready for things to start going my way. I am asking to receive a message in this physical world today that is a reflection of that. I am open and ready to receive that message. It's already done. It's already done. I already have it. It's already mine. Love tribe. I love each and every one of you. I want you to have a phenomenal day on purpose. And I want you to know that although this change, it feels like we kind of on a rocky road, it'll get better. And you'll feel great about it because you're going to look back and say, wow, I'm a totally new person. I'm full of love and happiness and joy and peace. And I'm prosperous in my health and my wealth. And I'm excited about that because I have a great gift and I have to serve. So guys, have an amazing, phenomenal day, week on purpose, and I'll see you tomorrow, Monday through Friday, live.